Yo guys, what is up? In today's video I'm going to be talking about why I hate social media and why I think you should too. So to get right into it, quite frankly, there's two ways this whole social media game goes down. Either you're going to use social media for yourself or you're going to let social media use you. The reality of it is that like social media and all this technology and stuff is really bringing down the average attention span of humans, and it's really making it harder for us to focus on the deep, intense work that we really need to do as entrepreneurs to take our business to the next level. It's happened to me. I've seen it happen to people around me. So one big change that I've made is I've unfollowed a lot of people on social media, and I've really drastically brought my following down. So right now, sitting at about 350, to the point where I have a lot less content to consume, and the content that I see is actually relevant to me and content that I truly want to see. And honestly, I'll probably bring it down even more from there. But this gives me more time that allows me to spend on doing the tasks I need to do my business, like the sales outreach, making videos for you guys, working with my mentors, things like that. So honestly, that's one thing I would recommend in order to limit the negative sides of social media. I would say bring your following down for sure, because at the end of the day, you're going to use social media, or let social media use you. And social media can create a lot of things. I see it as being a tool for me and a vehicle for me getting to the dream lifestyle that I want to be living. And I know that part of that plan includes using social media to kind of grow various businesses and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm not letting social media use me, and I recommend you guys not let social media use me, and I recommend you guys do the same. But the next thing that I would say is, and quite frankly, this one really hurts a lot of people, is it happens to me at times, it happens to all of us, but quite frankly, it's not always at the forefront of our minds that the content that people are putting out on social media is 99% of the time they're highlight reel. And it's gotten interesting because I came from a place where I always knew that, but it kind of took me going through the paradigm to actually understand it. So I always kind of knew, oh, that's their highlight, but still you see like the beach photos, the photos with the girls, the private jets, the yacht, and you think it's all like 100% what you see. And in some cases it is. I know a lot of people that live crazy lifestyles and 100% worked for it and deserve it. But there's a lot of other ways to like fabricate and value arbitrage to get yourself in environments with a lot of wealth without actually being wealthy. But also, like, just because people have this, let's say, follower count or get a certain amount of likes or comments on their photo or live a certain lifestyle doesn't really mean they're truly happy or fulfilled. So, and that's my number one goal in life, is to be happy and fulfilled, and all the other things will come secondary. Luckily, you don't have to choose exclusively what you want in life. You can kind of have it all and have the best of everything if that's what you want. But for me, I know that like my fulfillment and all that, my fulfillment, my happiness, my joy comes first. Um, but yeah, so it's important to understand that what you're seeing on social media is most likely other people's highlight reels, and just because they live a cool Instagram life doesn't really mean they're truly happy. And like I said, I've kind of went through the paradigm of seeing other people close to me, not necessarily close to me, but people that I've kind of heard of or just seen, like portraying one thing while other things going on. And yeah, it's kind of scary because there's another thing. A lot of people are talking these big games on social media and making it look like they're doing all this big stuff, when in actuality, behind the scenes, the stuff that's going on in order to get those things is it's a little scary, quite frankly, in certain cases. But at the end of the day, like, it's perception. So unfortunately, a lot of people buy into that, which is something I personally don't like because I'm very aware of it. Although again, it gets to me sometimes. I don't really like this kind of culture and world where like perception can get you what you want. It's a little scary to me, but again, I see it. I understand it a little bit. So that's that. I mean, lastly, again, I came from a place where like I quite frankly like at certain times wish this social media stuff like didn't exist. We could all just kind of live these like happy and fulfilled lives and like be connected and not have these platforms taking over our minds and our brains and our lives, quite frankly. But at the end of the day, like, perception too is important. I kind of heard it from one of my mentors, Austin Summers. He was talking about this in related to dating, but he was just saying that nowadays you're kind of half like your personality, who you actually are, the life you live, and then also half the content, the perception of who you are. Because nowadays, if someone wants to find out more about you, they say, "Oh, what's his Instagram? What's her Instagram?" To kind of go dig there and get an understanding for who they are. So if your social media isn't properly portraying who you are, or portraying the best version of yourself, you're at a loss. So again, like, I'm kind of against a lot of it, but now I've been more bought in and wanting to use it more and stay up to date. because I realized that it's important. And I've also seen it firsthand. Like currently, at the time of recording this, my Instagram's at about 2,500 followers. Goal is 10K by the end of the year. A little behind, but I'm gonna be working with the mentors, coaches, and go reach out to my friends that can kind of help me bridge that gap and kind of catch up. So I'm not really worried on that goal, to be honest. Worst case, I could just spend more money on ads, but yeah. So lost my train of thought, but yeah. So now I'm getting more into this stuff because it's definitely important, and I've seen it firsthand. Again, like I was saying, my 2,500 followers, and like I'll literally like see myself exchanging an Instagram with someone else, and they'll like mostly the people that have smaller accounts, and they'll give like a double take, like oh like a lot of followers or whatever, which is interesting. It's cool. I mean, it's a little again it's interesting to see. So things like that, or obviously like if you have cooler content and you're putting out more of what you're doing, let's say sales calls with clients or like going on to dinner with clients or things like that and living your life, like people might think it's cool. It might be more likely to like reach out and connect with you. And if you portray a better lifestyle on Instagram, it can bring you more connections. I understand that. So there's a lot of value. So I guess just to recap, bring your social media following down as much as you can to keep it while keeping it still relevant to yourself. Ideally, like as low as possible. Mine's at about 350 following right now, but I want to bring that down ideally to like 100. Two, don't believe everything you see on social media. Don't just buy into things because someone has a lot of followers or likes or portrays a cool lifestyle. Excuse me. Get motivated by that for sure, and like realize that if someone else does something, it's possible for you. But don't constantly compare yourself to the point where you feel like you're not good enough because you're comparing your low moments to someone else's highlight reel. And lastly, like aside from all this stuff and to the point where, like I said, like I kind of wish a lot of these things and a lot of the perception and psychology and quite frankly just the way humans have operated now and have always operated like didn't exist as much. Like the world we live in is the world we live in. As long as it's better to at least see the world we live in for what it is and understand the rules so you can play them and be the best version of yourself and use them to grow your businesses, grow yourself, grow your connections, and just live the life that you truly deserve. So despite all these things, take the appropriate actions to, within the rules of this, like portray the best version of yourself and really document what's going on with you. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, this perception stuff does matter. And if you ignore it, it will bite you in the ass. So definitely do your best to work on making your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube as high quality and as best you can, because it will help you over time. So hopefully I didn't contradict myself too much. These are kind of my thoughts on social media at the moment. Maybe I'll make an update video if they change at any point, but I feel like this stuff is just important to go over because it's stuff that I kind of struggled with over a period of time. So that's why I share with you guys. It's kind of what I learned, and hopefully you can take some value from this. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a thumbs up. Leave me any comments if you have any questions, or feel free to share your thoughts on the social media and what you think of it as well. And as always, subscribe because I'm dropping fire content. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.